Hello, welcome to another top 10 video. These are top 10 DC series that should be put into a trade, but currently have not been. Okay? For some strange reason, because DC doesn't really care, despite the fact people do care. Alright, first up is Legion / Rebels. Now, the reason why I paired these two up like that is because of one thing. Because Rebels is a continuation of Legion. The series that was started back in '89 that ended around mid-90s and was relaunched as Rebels, which ended after 17 issues. Excuse me. To this very day, this series has never been put into a trade. I definitely think it should be put into a trade, simply because, well, it's a damn good series. And plus, you had some good writers, and people like Keith Giffen, Alan Grant, Mark Waid, stuff like that. And it's a pretty fun series to read. Yeah, it does feature some characters that may not be familiar to people. I mean, a majority of the series features Lobo. Yeah, I would think that would draw people's attention, seeing Lobo. Put Lobo on most of the covers. He does appear in most of the issues, so I figured, oh, why not? But knowing DC, they probably won't do it because they're so focused on stuff that's already been up to TV. I would think they would do Legion, because, well, it needs to be. And plus, so some people who actually are fans of the series probably really wanted to see this in trade, and yet only Volume 2 of Rebels have only seen in trade. Only 4 published because the 5th one was cancelled due to low pre-order sales. Give it what you will. But that's the first one. Alright? Number 9. Doom Patrol Volumes 2, 3, and 4. Now, you might be asking, isn't most of Volume 2 already collected already? Yes, it is. But Grant Morrison was not the only writer on that book. There was also Paul Kupperberg, who was the preceding writer in the book. To this day, his run has never seen a trade. I mean, there have been some of his works have collected in trade. I mean, you got his run for Supergirl. Yeah, that's gonna be in a trade. I think there's like 2 trades planned to be released for it. They've only released 1 so far. I think there might be 1, maybe 2 more being released. And of course, Rachel Nagam, I think that's how you pronounce her name. She was the woman who succeeded Grant Morrison in the book. And even though her run is a bit bizarre, it would work for a trade. I mean, plus Grant Morrison, that run did not end after 63 issues. It continued for another 24 issues before it was ended. And yet DC only bothers to collect the Grant Morrison stuff. I'm thinking, though, there are more issues than just those. I bet some people get confused exactly when the heck this thing starts. So I do recommend putting it in there. 3 and 4 have never been officially put to trade. John Odet, I think it's not the guy's name, he did Volume 3. It was a pretty interesting volume, but never went to trade. Volume 4 was a bit controversial because of John Byrne's retcon. John Byrne was the one who wrote and drew the book. The book itself was actually done really well by Byrne. I thought it would be interesting, but I do disagree with the retcons he did. But yeah, this is something else that should be put into trade, but isn't. Volume 5 has mostly been put into trade, except for the last 8 issues. Now, from what I saw from the trade they were going to do for the 3rd volume, that was going to be collecting issues from Volume 5. And this is quite bizarre. Before it was canceled due to low pre-order sales, it was going to contain only issues 15 and 21, and I think there was an issue of Secret 6 was going to collect. But it did not contain the final issue. It stopped at 21 because the volume itself stopped at the 22 issues, and yet the trade stopped at 21 for some strange reason. Give that what you will. But yeah, alright. Next, of course, is number 8 is Superboy. Now, somebody asking, isn't there already a Superboy series in trade? Yes. Volumes 5 and 6 are in fact in trade. The first 4 volumes have never, ever been put into a trade. Not to my knowledge, no. I mean, yeah, there's been some stories, Adventure Comics, put into trade, but actual series itself, well, there is some issues in put to trade, like anything related to superheroes put to trade, but actually the actual issues themselves, Nope. And this only contains, particularly to the first 4 volumes of the series. I don't get why they weren't collected in trade, but they weren't. But yeah, Superboy volumes 1 through 4. Alright, number 7 is Firestorm. Now, someone asking, isn't there already a Firestorm trade? Yes, only 1. Well, actually, there have been 2 released. I mean, yeah, I know that the Fairy Firestorm series from New 52, I know that's been put officially in trade. But what about the stuff that preceded it? The first volume is put into trade, but the second volume has never seen a trade. Well, 1 issue has, anyways, but not the volume itself. 3, of course, only had 1 trade released. So basically, this refers mainly to volumes 2 and 3 of Firestorm. So, yes, these books need put into trade. The second volume lasted for 100 issues, and the third volume lasted for 35 issues. First volume might take a little bit of a while. Might take about 10-12 books to put this one in trade. 3 might take about a few books. Alright, number 6 is Night Force, the Marv Wolfman series that he started back in the 80s, and it had a few volumes, but they never usually lasted too long. The first volume was 14 issues, second volume was 12 issues, and the third volume was a 7-issue limited series. And to this day, never been put to trade. Nope. Why? No explanation. I would think DC would put this in the trade because the first volume was done by the people who created Blade, the Vampire Hunter. But instead, DC chooses not to put this in the trade. How many trades would this take up? 5 trades at most. Because the series itself is not very long, so it won't take too long. Would it be of interest? Yes, because Night Force is a damn good series. It's just too bad that's never seen light of a trade. So all 3 Night Force. Alright. Next, number 5 is Titans. Volumes 1 and 2. The reason why I say this, for Volume 1 has never, ever been put into a trade. Never. And it's a shame. Because I read Volume 1 for Titans. It's a damn good series. Most of it anyways. I mean, I don't get why DC doesn't put this book into a trade. I mean, is DC embarrassed by this book? I don't get it. It's a damn good series. I mean, yeah, the first 26 issues are really good. But beginning with issue 27, the book goes completely downhill because the editor did not know what he was doing. Yeah. Second volume has been mostly put into trade, but one thing dumb about it, and one thing I didn't like about the older trades, was the fact it loved to skip issues. And I put volume 2 on here because there's a good chunk of volume 2 not put into a trade. The first 11 issues are in trade. Actually, well, the first issue it skips was issue 15, which was a Blackest Night prelude. For some reason, DC thought, okay, we need to collect this book. They also collect issue 23, and of course there was one other trade that says to come out, but once again it was canceled due to low pre-order sales. I would think DC would reconsider putting this in the trades again, especially since the Titan series is back. But who knows? Number 4, Teen Titans, Volume 2, well, 1 and 2. I put both on here simply because 1 has not even finished being collected because for some reason DC decided to stop producing Showcase Presents trades for Teen Titans. Yeah, and here's the thing. The first volume is 53 issues long, and yet the 2 trades and release for it have only put in there the first 36 issues. Why? No explanation. Now I think that there is a Silver Age for Teen Titans being collected, but there's still over half. There's still most of the first volume that have been collected. 2 has never even seen a trade, and this is one done by Dan Jurgens, and this is an awesome book. And there was no reason why the book can be canceled. And if you want to put this in a trade, take a couple books like that. 2 books and that's it. That's really all it needs to be done with that. Number 3 is Vigilante. Now, 2 issues from the 3rd volume of this series has been put into trade. But what about the other issues, like the first volume, which was 50 issues, second volume was 6-issue miniseries, and the rest of volume 3? The answer is none of these issues have been put into trade because DC doesn't want to. I would think, because with the Adrian Chase character on Arrow, that maybe, just maybe, DC will put the Vigilante series in trade. I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen anything scheduled to come out yet for Vigilante. I mean, yeah, the book only had 3 major writers on them. You have Marv Wolfman, Alan Moore, and Paul Kupperberg. Yes, and the Paul Kupperberg series. The first volume would take up easily about a few trades. Of course, the second volume is easily 1 trade, and the third volume you can either have it in 2 trades or 1. Depends what DC wants to do. But definitely, Vigilante is definitely a series, which is 3 volumes. And yes, I do know about the Vigilante Southland series. I'm sure that'll be collected in trade, but what about the other 3 Vigilante series? Honestly, I don't know. But I would definitely think that DC would put in the trade because Adrian Chase is on Arrow. They did it for Deathstroke, why not for frickin' Adrian Chase? Alright, number 2 is Huck and Dove. Now, some of the series has been put into trade. The first 3 issues of the first volume put into trade, the second volume is put into trade, so is the 4th and 5th volume of the series. As for the 3rd volume of the series, nope. No trades for this book at all. I mean, it's only 28 issues. It's not like this is going to take too long to put into trade. I mean, to cover this whole book, you can probably cover in about 3 or 4, 2, maybe 3 trades, maybe 4 if you want to push it. But I think it's mainly just the rest of Volume 1 and Volume 3 entirely needs to put into trade. But yeah, definitely that. And number 1 is Checkmate. Now, somebody might be asking the question, isn't this book already in trade? The second volume is. The first volume has never seen live trade. Basically, yeah, the first volume, which was 33 issues, and another Paul Kupperberg series. I've read it. It's an awesome series. And I know 1 issue, I think 2 issues been collecting in trade. Mainly stuff dealing with the Jonas Director crossover. That has been put to trade. But as for the rest of the series, nope. Never seen live trade. How many trades would this take up? A few, at most. Depends on how many issues DC puts in per trade. But yeah, that's it for this top 10. Stay tuned. I'm doing a top 5 limited series that need to be put into trade. I mean, these are damn good series. Well, one of them I have not read yet, but they need to be trade. This top 10 basically comprises of series I have read, but yet DC chooses not to put these books into trade for some strange reason. Okay? But until then, I will see you there.